Welcome to Cheat Masters. Let's dive into today's tale. Rachel and I had spent 6 years together. No wedding rings, but it might as well have been a marriage. We split bills, shared a savings account, built a life under the same roof. The house? It was in my name. It happened on a Thursday morning. I was brewing coffee when she leaned against the kitchen counter, arms folded, and dropped it. I think I need some space. I didn't respond right away. I turned to her slowly. Space. I echoed. She gave a hesitant nod. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've lost myself in this relationship. I need time to find me again. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I've always believed you learn more about someone when you let the silence do the talking. All right, I said calmly. She blinked, caught off guard. Wait, what? That's it. If you need room to figure things out, take it, I said. But that discovery doesn't happen in this house. Her expression shifted. Surprise, confusion, maybe even disbelief. Griffin, seriously? You're not even going to talk this through with me? You weren't inviting a conversation. I replied. You made your choice. I'm just respecting it. She stood there, almost like she was waiting for me to crumble. But I didn't. 15 minutes later, she was zipping up a duffel bag, brushing past the hallway without a word. I didn't ask where she was heading. At the door, she paused, probably waiting for me to stop her. Maybe she thought I'd beg, plead, cry. I didn't. I opened the door. Take care, Rachel. She stepped outside without saying anything. The next morning, I got up at 6 a.m. like usual. Coffee, gym, client emails. Her absence didn't feel like a gut punch. It was just one less thing to manage. That Saturday, Sarah, my sister, called. She really left? Yeah. And you're not freaking out? I stared out the window. What's there to panic about? She didn't respond. She knows how I operate. I don't grovel. I don't chase. I definitely don't create scenes. That same weekend, John, my buddy since we were kids, dropped by. We sat out back, mostly in silence. He watched me like he was waiting for something to crack. You doing okay? He finally asked. I am, I said. He raised a brow, unsure if I was genuinely fine or just putting on a strong front. I told him exactly how I felt. Rachel asked for time alone, so I gave it to her. I wasn't going to run after someone who wasn't sure if they wanted to stay. John leaned back in the patio chair and nodded. He didn't press after that. Sure, there were moments. Times I glanced over at the empty side of the bed. Times I picked up my phone out of habit, expecting a message that would never come. But I didn't let it take hold. I returned to the boxing gym. Hadn't been there in years, but my body remembered the rhythm. First hit on the heavy bag brought a sense of focus I hadn't felt in months. She never called, never texted, not once. And that said everything. She didn't miss me. She missed the stability. I was never the person she longed for. I was the safety net she thought would always be there. But I was already moving on quietly with intention. I had no interest in being someone's second choice. The house didn't feel lonely. It felt lighter. Then, on a Sunday night, John texted. Just saw Rachel. Didn't want to say anything, but she wasn't alone. I stared at the message. I called him. He said he'd bumped into her at a rooftop bar downtown. She was with another guy, relaxed, smiling, her hand resting on his knee like they'd been together for a while. John didn't stay long, just long enough to know what he saw. That was enough for me. There was no rage, just a cold, steady understanding. 2 days later, Sarah messaged me. You didn't hear this from me, but Alicia posted pics from that winery upstate. Rachel's in a few, and there's a guy with her. Enzo, I think. Didn't ring a bell, but the name didn't matter. The message was clear. So, that's what space meant. We'd shared 6 years. Yet just days after leaving, she was sipping wine with Enzo. What hurt wasn't that she moved on. It was that she lied about the reason. She painted it as a personal journey, a quest to rediscover herself. Not a trial run with someone new. The next day, I erased her from all shared accounts. Took her off the streaming services. Canceled the second phone line. Whatever Enzo offered, thrills, flattery, distraction. She could have it. Because if someone walks away, fine. But if they lie while doing it, then everything they said before is tainted. That night, I boxed up all the things she left behind. Maybe it was the closure I needed, because I slept better than I had in months. And the next morning, I wasn't thinking about her. I was focused on what came next. By the third week, the silence had stopped feeling like a void. It started feeling like peace. No more phone lighting up with indirect jabs. No snide looks across the table. No strained silences over dinner that we both silently agreed to ignore. I transformed the guest room into a workspace and got rid of the dull furniture Rachel had insisted on filling our home with. One afternoon, I drove to the gym to cancel the membership Rachel had been using, still tied to my account. The woman at the front desk glanced at my profile, hesitated when she saw Rachel's name, then nodded after I told her to remove it. No comments, just quiet acknowledgement. Whether Rachel ever noticed or not, I can't say. She never messaged about it. But eventually, a text came through. "Hey, just wondering how you've been." I ignored it for days of silence. Then she tried calling. Her name appeared on my screen, glowing in the dark. I wasn't playing games. I just wasn't about to open the door like nothing had ever happened. A few nights later, Sarah called to check on me. Her voice was soft at first, cautious, probably expecting to hear anger or sadness in mine. But I told her the truth. I was fine. The house was quiet now. It finally felt like mine. I'd forgotten how clear my mind could be without emotional static clouding up every room. Sarah chuckled. "Honestly," she said, "I never like her much anyway." The truth was, I'd stopped missing Rachel the moment I accepted that she hadn't missed me at all. She didn't leave to grow. She left because she wanted something else, and assumed I'd be here if it didn't pan out. But I had already started rewriting the ending. Then came Tuesday. A message request popped up on Instagram from someone named Enzo Navarro. I almost deleted it. Curiosity got the better of me. "Hey man, I know this is random, but I think we should talk. It's about Rachel." I stared at the screen. This was a guy, the one she'd been finding herself with. I typed one word. "Why?" His reply was immediate. "I didn't know you two were still a thing when it started. You deserve the truth. Can we meet?" The next day, I met him downtown at a small coffee shop. He was already there, sitting alone, eyes fixed on the table. He didn't look apologetic. He looked like someone carrying a weight they needed to drop. I took a seat. "Talk." He looked up, visibly tense. "Rachel told me you guys were over. Said it was mutual. She told me she was just staying at your place while she figured out her next step." I stayed quiet. "We slept together a few days before she left," he admitted. "I really thought she was done with you. That's what she made it sound like. Later I found out she was still messaging you like nothing had changed." He rubbed his hands together. I felt like a fool. I nodded once. I wasn't angry, just done. "So why now?" He shrugged. "Because I got played too. And you deserve to know who she really is." We left shortly after. I didn't offer a handshake, just walked out. It was Thursday night, exactly 4 weeks since she walked out. And when Rachel showed up at my doorstep, I wasn't surprised. Her silence had dragged on long enough. Her return felt rehearsed. What she didn't know was that I had already spoken with Enzo. I opened the door. She stood there, hands shoved into her jacket pockets. No makeup, hair tied back, eyes heavy. "Hey," she said, like she was testing the waters. I didn't respond. She hesitated. "Can we talk?" I stepped aside. Not a word. She stepped inside slowly, her eyes scanning the room like it belonged to someone else. "You changed things." "Yeah," I said. Felt like it was time. She eased onto the edge of the couch like a visitor. I didn't sit. "I've been doing a lot of thinking," she started. "About us. About everything." I let her talk. Let her build her story. She didn't know I already had the full picture. Then came the twist she hoped would sway me. Enzo and I, it wasn't serious. It never really became anything. I just thought I needed something different. But it made me realize what I lost with you. I turned my head, slightly. You sure you want to stick with that version? She blinked. What? I stepped forward, voice calm but firm. Because I sat across from Enzo 3 days ago. He told me you slept with him before you left, that you told him we were finished, and that you were still texting me while sharing his bed. Her mouth opened, stunned, but no words came out. I didn't think you'd actually talk to him, she finally said. No, I replied. You didn't think at all. You thought I'd swallow whatever story you handed me, that I'd still be here, waiting, hoping. Her eyes welled up. I didn't flinch. You lied to both of us. She dropped her gaze, silent under the weight of it. Whatever version she prepared collapsed right there in front of us. I didn't walk away because I stopped caring, she said quietly. I just needed to clear my head. Is that what weekend getaways with another guy are called now? I asked, not raising my voice. That's not what it was, she insisted. You don't have to keep pretending, I said, calm but firm. You made a choice. Own it. She leaned in, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't realize how empty everything would feel without you. I thought I needed something new, but I was wrong. I looked at her for a long while, searching for something real. Then I asked the question I've been holding in since this all began. If Enzo hadn't walked away, would you still be here right now? She didn't speak, and that silence told me more than any words ever could. Rachel, I'm not mad, I said. I don't need an explanation, and I don't owe you a second chance. Her voice cracked. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But please believe me, I was lost. I thought space would help me figure it out. I made a mistake. Without responding, I walked down the hall and opened the closet. From the shelf, I pulled out a small cardboard box and set it gently at her feet. I kept your things. Figured you'd want them back eventually. She stared at the box, then looked up at me. So that's it. Yeah, I said quietly. That's it. You're really not even going to listen? I already did. I told her. All I heard was someone trying to undo a decision they made with full awareness. You closed the door, Rachel. Now you want to walk backward through it like nothing happened. Her eyes started to fill. I really thought you'd understand. I do, I replied. You thought I'd be right here, just in case. This time, there was no argument, no pleading, just a slow nod. She picked up the box, walked to the front door, and paused as she reached for the handle. Turning once more, she said, I hope you forgive me someday. I already have, I said. That's why you're not coming back in. She stepped outside and closed the door without another word. After that night, she tried a few more times, texts, missed calls, even an email titled, Please just read this. I didn't open it. I already knew what it would say. In her mind, there was still a version of the story where I rewound everything, like we were just on pause. Like I pretend she hadn't walked away to try something else on for size. But I wasn't that man anymore. A few days later, I called the bank and asked them to close the joint savings account. I'd moved my share when she left. The rest was hers. I didn't touch it. Not long after, Sarah rang me. Her voice was low, like she wasn't sure she should say what she was about to. I heard Rachel's been staying with her cousin. Enzo ended it a while back. She's been all over the place. Are you okay? I'm better than okay, I said, and I meant it. Work was going strong again. I was focused, present, clean in the head and clear in the heart. I wasn't waiting anymore. I was moving on. But Rachel didn't give up right away. One evening, just before sunset, she showed up again. I saw her through the doorbell camera, letter in hand, standing alone on the porch. I didn't open the door. She waited a few minutes, then slid the envelope into the mailbox and walked away. I didn't read it. I knew exactly what it would say. Some recycled confession, a polished version of guilt. But none of it mattered. She had gone chasing a fantasy and only turned around when the mirage faded. The problem was she expected the beginning to stay frozen, waiting for her return. But that chapter was already burned. I had built a new one, facing a different direction. Closure is strange. People make it sound like it has to be mutual or spoken aloud, but often it's quiet. It's not a conversation. It's a decision. She left looking for more, thinking she might circle back if more wasn't what she imagined. But by the time she returned, I had already become more for myself. No hatred, no bitterness, just peace. And if she ever wonders why I never replied, the answer's simple. Some people leave looking for better. Others leave and realize they were the problem all along.